going everyone? Jon Venus here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm joined with my bro, Brian Turner. We figured why not sit down and talk about something that is very, very close to our hearts. Why being a vegan soy boy makes it harder to gain muscle and be strong.
And also, by the way, I just want to mention I wore my most soy boy haircut just so the carnies out there can really roast me. Probably the #1 issue that I see with a lot of guys who like come to like talks and ask questions and stuff is basically like, how do I eat more food? Because I feel like trying to bulk is really difficult. I hit like an upper limit how much I can fit in my belly, and then it's just like, how do I gain muscle? And I feel like it has to do with the fact that a lot of times people are eating so much fiber, and plant foods obviously have more fiber. So it takes a while to get used to that much. Or people are just not looking at the foods that they're eating, and they are eating stuff that's really dense in fiber when they could move to things that are a little less dense in fiber.
It is way harder if you're used to eating animal products and processed foods. That is the truth. It takes time to adjust. How long would you say it took you? I mean, you were already into bodybuilding, so you're eating like, you know, your rice and broccoli and chicken. So like for you, I guess it was an easy transition. Right?
It was pretty easy. You know me though, I'm like kind of a tank when it comes to eating food. So
exactly.
I bulk on like 4,500 calories. So I was just like, oh, just a little bit more full.
Yeah, exactly.
Down the hatch, another smoothie.
Yeah, for me also it worked out because I can eat a lot of food. So for people who have a small appetite, it could be an issue as well because you know, you don't have the space in your stomach. And one of your talks with the panels, you mentioned how, you know, drinking liquids, or you had a couple tips to expand your stomach size so that you can, you know, train your body to be able to get more volume of food in, and I think that is really important. And one of the mistakes is avoiding fats and these things, because obviously if you are struggling to get enough calories, you want to add more fats to your diet because fats are way more calorie dense than protein and carbs. So definitely get your fats in if you're struggling to put on weight.
Yeah, I think that would maybe be something else that I point out about becoming a soy boy is there's a lot of like really weird advice and like this whole dogma thing about like not getting fats in. There's also like these like certain carbs aren't okay for you to eat. So like a lot of times you have this really narrow target window of what you can eat, and that makes it harder to get that big amount of calories for bulking.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those pieces of advice that you're gonna get when you see people talking about veganism are their opinions, and also a lot of times not from people who are muscular. A lot of times like the no fat people, they don't lift, so it doesn't matter to them if they can get a ton of calories. All right, so there we go. We addressed some of that stuff when it comes to like what actually does make it difficult to become vegan and try to gain muscle. I honestly feel like it's overblown, and I feel like we were even struggling to come up with another point. I'm sure there is another point.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But it's over exaggerated big time. And so now I kind of think that we should like switch gears and talk about like the advantages that actually came when switching from, because both of us were heavy meat eaters, switching over to a vegan diet, what we saw different when we were trying to gain muscle. My #1 big one was inflammation. Not only like, you know, joint wise, I had really bad acne. I used to have like real puffy, like you knew me before I was vegan, and my face was what I would say like moon face.
Right,
I had no like jawline, I'd be like puffed up. And that would translate into my joints too. Like sometimes I would be like going for a leg day, and then I'd just be like, dude, my knees just hurt. So I'm just not gonna do it today, I'll do something else.
And you were super young as well, which is, you know, a red flag for sure, right? Back in the day when I was eating a ton of meat, sometimes I wouldn't go to the bathroom for like, you know, several days in a row or something like that. Even up to a week at my worst, which is unbelievably unhealthy, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know that. What the hell? That was so bad.
After a week, it was all fixed. Like I was going to the bathroom like a normal person.
Big bombs in the toilet, right?
Exactly, man. Anyways, like after that was fixed, my energy levels, you know, shot up. Also, my acne cleared up even more. And as a result of my digestion being so efficient, I was able to recover in the gym, you know, faster, which means my strength went up. That was the first thing that I noticed. My strength went up a lot. Yeah. And that might also be because I was eating more carbohydrates than before, like complex carbs, like oatmeal, rice, you know, that kind of stuff.
Sometimes I'd be using a weight that I was like, all right, we're gonna go for like 10 reps. And I get to 10 and I'm just like, this is a weird, I just feel like, and I just do it for like 20 and I'm like, what just happened? This weight used to be heavy. And so that one was a big one for me. So like when I woke up back in the day before I was vegan, I used to, like seriously, I was a heavy meat eater and I was a heavy dairy consumer, like somewhere near a gallon of milk a day. So when I wake up, I would have just like mucus so hard. I'd have to like clear my mouth and throat. Like for the next hour after I'm waking up, I'm just like, I'm trying to drink water to get it out and stuff. Now I wake up.
Very good point, yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm not like, you know, sick or anything like that, I never have mucus in my mouth. I'm just ready to get up, feel energized and stuff because I don't have that mucus. And it's easier to start my day, and it's also easier to start eating earlier, which makes it easier. I don't have to shove so many calories in at the end of the night.
For me, at least, I had the same kind of issues, but I also had asthma growing up, like when I was a kid. So when going vegan, like I didn't notice a big difference in the first year or two. But after the third, fourth year, I was like noticing that my asthma was like completely gone. Like now, like I haven't had like not episode, but like I haven't had a difficulty breathing for a very long time. Like if I'm allergic or something, like I'll feel it. But I used to, you know, feel it like I have a hard time breathing whenever I went for a soccer match or a training session doing cardio. I'll always like have very, very hard time breathing. So that was something that really cleared it up. And once that was cleared up, it was obviously easier to do even more cardio, even more lifting. And again, probably helped a lot with the recovery as well.
That's quite, I didn't know you had asthma at all.
Oh no? Yeah, I had pretty bad. Like I was hooked onto those machines and stuff as a kid. Yeah.
The other thing I want to point out that just hit me is high blood pressure. So I didn't have high blood pressure before, but I had higher blood pressure. When I went vegan, that dropped a bit. And I feel like sometimes people get confused because when you have high blood pressure, your neck veins popping out and stuff, and some people think that looks cool because they're like, I'm more muscular, but it's not. It's just your blood pressure is really high, so sometimes your veins are popping because you're like gonna die, bro. Yeah, so mine went down big time.
Again, if you're eating a lot of, you know, cholesterol fat from animal products, the fat tends to circulate in your blood a lot more than if you were to eat avocados or nuts and seeds and that kind of stuff, which does impact the blood flow. And you know, blood flow is what makes your muscles, you know, pumped up in the gym. So I definitely noticed that I was looking bigger when I was training.
Adding on top of the blood flow thing, because I wasn't eating as many vegetables, I wasn't getting as much like natural nitric oxide. So like once I started eating foods that were higher in it, especially like beetroots, you guys, you know the whole story with that, but my pumps would get even more solid. And yeah, before I was vegan, I was eating just enough vegetables that I didn't feel guilty. I wasn't eating a lot of them.
So a lot of people think that, you know, going vegan might be okay. It might help you get rid of heart disease or something. But, you know, it might not be the best for building muscle. So have you noticed a difference in terms of the speed of muscle building when switching to plant-based diet?
Yeah, so you like get this comment a bunch of people are like, well, he was so swole before and like blah, blah, blah. Why isn't he more swole now? And I feel like a lot of people expect you to somehow like continue gaining muscle forever. Like there is an upper limit for everybody. Meat eaters, not meat eaters. Like it's not like you're gonna go from 215 to all of a sudden 260. Like, so for me, the bulking and cutting has been like literally pretty much identical. So I've like bulked up to 215 as a meat eater. I bulked up to 215 as a vegan. Same thing. I competed as a meat eater and I've competed as a vegan. Same thing. Actually a little bit heavier. When I cut down as a vegan, I was like 5 pounds heavier. So I was able to have a little bit more muscle at competition time.
I can definitely tell that you've, you know, kept growing and that kind of stuff. So especially after going vegan. And same for me. Like if you, again, people will hate on us, try to, you know, debunk us by putting side-by-side comparison pictures. And sure, like, you know, with the right lighting, the right pump, like even, you know, after 1 year of lifting, you could look massive, and then you could have
a 1 hour, you could look skinny compared to huge just because of the lighting and the pump, right?
Yeah, it's just not reality, right? So, yeah, there is no difference in my opinion, as long as you're getting enough protein, calories, and the micronutrients. There is no reason why it's gonna be worse or slower to build muscle on a plant-based diet.
Just be aware that when you go vegan, all of your friends who aren't vegan are gonna put you under that vegan magnifying glass.
That's the thing, man. There's so many YouTubers and influencers that they look smaller than they used to before, but no one gives them, like, no one criticizing them for that. And I don't think they should be criticized for it, but just because we're vegan, again, we're put under this microscope, and yeah, that's how it is.
It's just ridiculous.
Anyways, I hope this was useful. I really enjoyed our conversation here. Hope that gave you some confidence to try out a plant-based diet if you're not vegan already. And if you're vegan, hope this gave you confidence to just kill it and just, you know, get fitter, healthier, and stronger. So if you haven't subscribed to Brian's channel, link will be in the description box below. Again, we're like, you know, brothers from different mothers. We've been knowing each other for a long time. We're on the same path, same journey. We've been on the same path for such a long time. So I consider this guy one of my best friends. So please go there and subscribe to his channel. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Peace out.
Just banging videos out, son.